What's up, guys? Today, you can see we're here on TR Walkway observing the endangered spy crab. And what I really want to do is talk about what I really feel are the optimal settings for playing TF2 and what should really help you for a lot of your gameplay. They're not going to, instantly make you the top scorer in pubs and play incredibly, but most of these things have got pretty much no downside and they should really help you in a lot of your gameplay. Now, the first big thing that I want to cover is if you go Options down here, select Video, and then Advanced. My biggest issue with a lot of multiplayer games these days is they come with this thing called Wait for Vertical Sync as enabled by default. I absolutely encourage you to please disable this terrible setting. Essentially, what it does is it means that if you turn your aim quite rapidly, a lot of the time this tears frames. Now, that might sound like a really bad thing, like you're breaking your computer. It's really not. It basically just means that a lot of the time the frames won't sync perfectly and it might have a slightly noticeable effect. And, you can't, the game might not look as beautiful for 1 second while you're turning. But with vertical sync enabled, it basically means your computer is going to wait to catch up. And that really means that your aim, a lot of the time when you do sharper movements, will actually lag behind what you're doing with your mouse. And this makes it infinitely harder to aim with precision with classes like Scout, Sniper, and those really kind of aim precise ones. Now, the next big thing I want to talk about is field of view. So, if you come in here, Advanced, you can see at the moment my field of view is set on the default of 75. Now, I would encourage all of you to ramp this all the way up to 90. Now, what your field of view is, for those who don't know, is essentially how much stuff you can see on your screen at one time. So if you look at the moment, you can see I can see the edge of that crate there up to the third pole and just the grey pole there. Now, I'm not going to change it here. That's the way you should probably do it, but that would force me to disconnect from the map. So I'm just going to go into console and type FOV_desired and set it to 90, which is the setting that you should put in that multiplayer menu. And I want you to note how my view expands, both upwards, downwards, and on the left and right. But really focus on the left part of the screen where you can see that crate, because that will give you a good idea. So if I type 90, enter, you can see I can now see about an extra 2 or 3 meters on both sides of the screen and extra on the up and down. Now, a lot of people might think this, it's really not that important, but it really means that you'll be a lot more alert to threats as they come towards you. You might see a crit rocket that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. You might see a spy, and it'll really make you a lot more alert when you're playing the game and see threats as they're coming, and a lot of the time it will save your life. Now, the other big thing is, as you can see here, weapons really, they tend to, oh god, sorry, so you keep going on your way. Now, at the moment, this is my preferred weapon setting, but by default, weapons will look more like this. As you can see here, it takes up almost, like a quarter of my screen, and that is a huge amount of stuff that you can't see. Like right there, if I'm shooting someone, I can't see that spy right now. Like, he could be about to kill me with his crabness. But anyway, so, one option, if you're sick of view models on your screen, is to just toggle them off, like that. And I'll put a thing in the description for anyone wondering how to do that. But for me personally, I actually quite like keeping my view model on, because it allows me to kind of track, what weapon I'm using. You see a lot of embarrassing issues where people, change weapon, and because their view models are off, they forget that they're using the rocket launcher when they think they're using the shotgun, and everything goes wrong. So I actually prefer to keep my view models on. It also helps a lot of the time with kind of reload animations and keeping track of when the rocket's actually loaded. So the second solution, if you like your view models on but you don't want them taking up so much of the screen, is setting your view model FOV. Now, to do this, you go into console and you type viewmodel_FOV. Now, my preferred setting is 90, and as you can see there, it zooms it out it zooms it out quite a bit more, and as you can see, I can still see a lot of stuff even when it is behind my rocket launcher, because it takes up a lot less area on the screen. Now, you can fiddle with this number. Unlike your standard FOV for seeing left and right on the screen, this actually doesn't have a limit. You can put it up to something like 130, and your rocket will be zoomed all the way out here, and you start to see some really, really weird shit happening. It's like rockets reloading and sitting down there, and I don't even know what's going on anymore. And if you turn it all the way up to 1000, it will actually flip your view models upside down, and I don't even know anymore. So yeah, the default is 70, for anyone wondering. My preferred setting is 90, which is like that. But, it's all personal preference, and, I can fiddle with it, figure out what you like. If you like them toggled off completely, that's fine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Like that, then it's all personal preference. Now, next I'm just going to quickly run through some advanced settings. This one here, I know some people tend to not have this ticked, which is automatically reload weapons when you're not firing. That essentially means that whenever you are not shooting your gun, like it suggests, you are always reloading. Unlike a lot of other games, this has no downside. Some games prevent you from shooting while you're reloading. TF2 isn't like that. It'll simply cancel the reload animation and let you shoot anyway. Now, some people have this toggled off as a matter of personal preference. I've got to respect that, but there is no downside to having this option ticked, and I would really encourage all of you to do that, unless, of course, it really, really bugs you, in which case, go with what you feel. Now, the next really, really big ones in this menu is play hit sound every time you injure an enemy, and display damage done as text over your target. I find it is so important to be able to keep track of how much you have hurt a certain enemy when you're in a fight. If I'm fighting a soldier and I shoot 2 rockets at him, if I don't have damage numbers turned on, I don't know if both those rockets did 90 damage or if they both did 30 damage. You might be able to guess, judging by if it was a direct hit or if it splashed beside him, that having damage numbers on will really let you know how much health your enemy has left. And if that soldier has hit me and I've only got 10 health left, and I see from the damage numbers that he's got 100 health left, then having those damage numbers will tell me that maybe I should stop fighting him and get the hell out of there, because I'm probably not going to be able to kill him, and if I keep fighting, he will probably end up killing me. Damage numbers will really let you keep track of that, and you'll win a lot more fights and escape a lot more that you would otherwise die in. Class-specific options, it's pretty much all personal preference, except for medic. I find that injured teammates automatically call out. Setting the threshold to about 40% and ticking that is really helpful. Basically means that whenever your teammates are on low health, even if they forget to call medic, this will make them do it automatically. So you always know who's on low health and who you should really prioritize heals to. Now, a lot of the remaining things, such as HUD, I get a lot of questions about. It's really personal preference. A lot of people like the default HUD. I personally use EveHud. I will throw some links down to a lot of the big HUDs in the description for you guys to try out. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. Hopefully it'll answer a lot of the questions that people have been having. We're going to have to say goodbye to the lovely spy crab. Oh my god. And then we're using that to shoot down on everyone. This basically maximizes the kind of area we have to shoot at people's feet. If you're aiming at someone from straight on, then it's quite hard to get the splash damage at their feet.